Prime Minister Modi is also set to meet US President Donald Trump on his visit to the United States, which starts today, with key discussions anticipated on trade relations, tariff structures and visa policies. The agenda aims to strengthen bilateral economic ties between the two countries and boost strategic partnership between India and the US. Now remember, a meeting with Tesla Chief Elon Musk is also on the cards. So what's on the agenda? Let's take a quick look. Prime Minister will embark on his US tour today to meet Trump, as well as Elon Musk may end up discussing energy imports with the president. Is also likely to negotiate defense imports from the US. H-1B visa and illegal immigration, which made headlines in India, is also on the agenda. Trump tariffs, reciprocal tariff threats could be a key point of discussion between Indian Prime Minister and US President. And finally, Elon Musk's Starlink entry into India and Tesla's entry into India could be some of the key points of discussion with both the US President as well as Tesla Chief Elon Musk today. Let's quickly go back to Srinath Sridharan. He continues to be with us. Srinath, a lot is on the cards. I mean, in the past couple of days, I think we've seen a lot coming out of US President when it comes to signing of those executive orders. I think the worst of which was the 25% tariff on both aluminium and steel, and what's to come as far as future tariffs is concerned, be it cars, pharmaceuticals and chips, which is what he's promised in Oval Office when talking to reporters. I think this is going to be an important discussion starting today. Prime Minister's visit to the US that could pave way perhaps for some exceptions to be made for India. Srinath, could you please unmute yourself?
In fact, we have two strong leaders, leaders who believe in the domestic strength of their nations, who want their nations to be globally very, very relevant, and they're going to have a part of negotiation. And if you look at their, with no disrespect, I'm using the word in a positive way, of their romance of sorts. Each time they've gone, Prime Minister Modi has visited the US last time, or the way President Trump was hosted in Ahmedabad, Howdy Modi, all of that. I think there is a personal sense of rapport that they share. And how are they going to tackle the trade issue, the technology issue? I mean, for example, India has been put in the tier 3 of the AI regime that US has, which means that India would need US approval for even buying chipsets and getting access to data models. So a lot of those conversations, and then we have the big visa issues. And I think the US, to flex its muscle, had also sent back the illegal migrants, some of them last week back home. So I think some of these are strongman tactic messaging to India that they will not hesitate to act tough. And I think it is going to be a give and take. And I look at it slightly geopolitically apart. Is this US's message to Russia and China by hitting at friends, including India, saying that, hey, buy more and reduce whatever you do with Russia? It could be one of those strongman tactics as well. And I think India, knowing India, we might have a lot of these conversations off the record, but we are not going to ever get up and kind of abuse the US in public. I mean, that's the Indian political style. Okay. We would do all these strong conversations. And I think if I don't want to read more between the lines, is US also indicated kind of diluting its bribery act? Is that a kind of...
Go ahead, Srinath, read between the lines. Tell us what you think could be, some of those key sectors that perhaps Prime Minister is going to take up with, Donald Trump today.
There were 2 points which was never on the agenda, but which would have anyway had private conversations around it. One was definitely India wanting to protect its conglomerates from the Bribery Act, not just specifically one group, but across, as more and more Indian conglomerates deal with American companies. That act could be a draconian sword hanging around their neck. That's one. India would have wanted to soft pedal it. 2 is, if you remember, the entire Khalistan extremists and the US and Canadian accusation of an Indian investigative officer, and where India had said that we will actually solve it ourselves through our judicial system. So to me, these 2 were also an irritant which US would have raised. Because US, if you remember, has not closed these issues. They've kept it as an irritant.
Absolutely.
And I think
Srinath,
some of these come very
as
handy with
much as I would like to take this discussion, forward, we will of course have to wait for a couple of more hours to really see what the two global leaders will talk about in their bilateral conversations, and we'll get you back with more on as and when we have data as well as details on what's discussed between those two leaders.